I stand on Earth and breathe deeply. The air fills my lungs, it is soft and gentle. Nearby I can hear the sound of water flowing, a quiet and persistent music. Birds call to each other from high in the trees. Around me, flowers open their petals to the sun. This world is a gift of immense proportions. It is a garden of life in the vast emptiness of space. I think of the mercy of Allah who fashioned this perfect home for us. How often do I pause in my day, look around at this incredible wonder and simply say thank you for it all? My journey begins. The rocket I am in starts to climb. I watch through the small window as the sky darkens. Stars emerge as brilliant points of light. Our world shrinks below me into a blue and white marble. A profound sense of my own smallness washes over me. Our first destination is Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun. The moment I step onto its surface, the contrast with Earth is immediate and shocking. During the day, the ground bakes under the relentless solar radiation, becoming incredibly hot to the touch. But when night falls, that same ground plunges into a freezing cold that is equally extreme. There is no atmosphere here to trap warmth or to breathe. There are no trees, no rivers, no clouds, just a silent, cratered landscape of rock and dust. I touch a large, dark boulder and feel only the raw, unforgiving heat radiating from it. In this profound silence, I ask myself a gentle question. Why do we so often take the simple gift of life for granted? Next, we travel to Venus. From a distance, it shines in the sky like a beautiful, bright star, a beacon of light. But up close, its beauty is revealed to be a cruel deception. The atmosphere here is a thick, crushing blanket of toxic gases. Now we journey outward into the realm of the giants. Our first stop is Jupiter, a planet so massive it defies comprehension. It is not solid ground, but a colossal swirling ball of gas-swirling ball of liquid. Immense storms, some larger than our entire Earth, churn in its atmosphere like a slow, majestic dance. Bands of color, creams, oranges, browns, wrap around the planet, created by powerful winds and complex chemistry. The Great Red Spot, a storm that has raged for centuries, stares back like a giant, unblinking eye. I feel incredibly small and humble before such overwhelming power. I look at this giant and ask, who gives such immense power and yet keeps them in their place? Our next destination is Saturn, the jewel of the solar system. Its magnificent system of rings captures my soul. They shine with a brilliant, ethereal light encircling the planet like a celestial crown. The rings are not solid, but made of countless particles of ice, particles of rock, orbiting in a silent, coordinated ballet. The sight is pure art beauty that exists for its own sake. I stand a long time watching this silent spectacle. In this moment, I ask, is such intricate beauty a sign of a maker who loves every detail? The rocket slowly turns, its nose pointing back toward the distant sun and the tiny speck that is my home. The great gas giants fade behind me, their storms and rings shrinking into points of light. The deep, silent blackness of space begins to recede as a familiar, brilliant blue grows larger in my window. Earth becomes bright again, a beacon of life in the cosmic dark. I see the familiar swirl of white clouds. I see the deep blue of the oceans. I see the rich greens and browns of the continents. A feeling of warmth returns to me, not just from the ship's systems, but from deep within my soul. I think of everything I have seen on this incredible journey. I remember the hot rocks of Mercury. I remember the acid air of Venus. I remember the red dust of Mars. I recall the giant swirling storms of Jupiter. I recall the elegant rings of Saturn. I recall the icy quiet of Uranus. I recall the deep blue winds of Neptune. Each place, in its own unique and silent way, taught me the same fundamental lesson. Life, the kind we know and experience every day, is not a common occurrence. It is fragile, it is rare. It is an exception to the rule of emptiness and silence that governs so much of the universe. It is not something we earned or created. It is a gift, an act of immeasurable mercy. This journey has transformed my perspective, turning what I knew in my mind into something I now feel in the very core of my being. The moment I step back onto the soft grass of Earth, I take a long, slow breath. The air is sweet and alive. In the distance, the songs of birds seem to welcome me home, a symphony of life celebrating its own existence. I reach out and touch a green leaf on a small plant, feeling its soft, living texture, and a simple, profound joy fills my heart. This small, ordinary leaf is more miraculous than any storm on Jupiter or any ring around Saturn, because it is alive. In that moment, I close my eyes and say a quiet prayer of thanks to Allah for this home, for this life, for this mercy. I know that I will not forget this journey. The images of those other worlds are now etched into my memory, serving as a constant reminder of how precious our world is. I will strive to care for this home with a new sense of purpose and urgency. I will protect its air, its water, and its creatures. And I will remember to say thank you more often. I will look at the sky, the trees, and the water not as scenery, but as signs of a loving creator. The greatest journey is not the one that takes you to other planets, but the one that brings you back home with a grateful heart, ready to see the miracle that was there all along.